The heroes of this season are George Russell, who's like a tub of mayonnaise on camera, and who's like a black hole of charisma.
Like, I'm not saying he's opted to have that to race. It's not like a handicap, right? He was in tears on the podium. Welcome back, idiots and gentle idiots. Welcome back to Idiots of F1, the show where four people who love Formula One far more than they understand it continue to grift and grind to keep you, listeners, informed and entertained. And somehow, week after week, you keep coming back, which either means we're doing something right or you've run out of other options. Either way, we appreciate you. I am Ollie, and joining me tonight, all four of us, rounding out a back-to-back full house, are Ev, Tay, and Digby. Gentlemen, say hello, not all at once.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, that was super creepy.
Over the top of Diggs. He
Unbelievable.
definitely tried.
Every time.
Right, here's what tonight looks like. We have a review episode. That means that we have no race this weekend again, but do not despair. The big breaks are behind us for some time. But tonight, just us, a Canadian Grand Prix that absolutely refused to be boring, and a prediction scorecard I have been quietly dreading since Sunday evening.
Brilliant.
Full review of the Canadian GP. So we're going to race through P1 to P10, the DNSs, the disasters, and a visit from our old friend, Stroll Watch. Diggs, I feel like I need an audio tag for that. Stroll Watch. There it is. After that, hush, you been paying attention. Canada edition version 2. And then we close with what's Verstappen. Stories from the last week that have nothing to do with where anyone finished and everything to do with reminding you there is stuff that happens off the track too. But before any of that, it is time for my favorite, some fans' favorite, the Idiot Icebreakers. So for those new here, this is not a test of knowledge, but rather a test of character and creativity. I'm looking at Tay with pure dread in his eyes. He hates creativity. Each week I give scenarios to my co-host for their input so that you at home, week by week, feel like you're getting to know these people just a little bit better, or confirming what you already suspected, which, by the way, you don't have to keep to yourself. Feel free to slide into our DMs with your thoughts or publicly air them out on our socials. But Evan, you, sir, are up first this week. All right, here we go. F1 viewership numbers are down in key markets substantially, despite 3 French drivers. France is down 40%. Spain, with 2 drivers, a sharp drop. Germany and Austria, estimates are between, I think, 20 and 40%. The casual fan is drifting. The diehard may have had enough. Netflix are panicking as they prepare for the next season of Drive to Survive, and they have called you. With your 30-plus years of watching this sport from a sofa, and apparently nothing better to do on a Sunday afternoon, because they believe that the armchair expert is exactly what the new season needs. One pitch, budget unlimited. What are you bringing to the writer's room to win back fans?
If I was the producer, I would say you'd have to get approval first, admittedly. But there's stuff where it's like interviewing Zach Brown or and it's just
the face-to-camera shit.
Yeah, it's become so trite and
boring.
Yeah, boring, very politically
scripted,
sensitive. Yes.
Oh God! If we keep finishing each other's,
get Dave Mitchell in there, give him an opinion piece on what he thinks of F1.
So I would suggest constant filming.
This is riveting.
One person following each team.
I'd watch
Shane coming.
And then, so you'll have every single word. You know when, like, so for example, when Toto Wolff...
I feel like I'm Inception.
When Toto Wolff presses the button and he's like, oh, calm down. You've got to calm down.
Yeah. On the radio.
When he lifts his finger off the button, he'll turn to the guy next to him and go, the fuck is that guy doing? Like, so that's what I want.
You want unfiltered.
Purely unfiltered,
candid.
Except so any like Zach Brown or something, and he'd be like, Zach's ordering
you're giving
3
me
hot dogs, and he's like, I don't want people to know. That's embarrassing. I don't want them to know my lunch order.
Can you imagine you're in the Netflix boardroom and that is literally how Evan gives the pitch, and then
you know what?
The guys in there go, what the fuck?
No, the point being, Zach Brown caught himself saying something, and they were like, "Oh, Zach, you're on. We've got them this week. We've got drivers," and then Zach had to like
Oh, yeah, he was real sneaky.
Yes.
You heard the audio of it in the last drive.
You need to get all of that audio, and if you want to bleep it, they can bleep it, but it just proves that there's something.
There's more
they're
going
being
on.
deceptive about all of this.
Yeah,
They're not nice and friends.
You know what? Everything how you're saying
to
right
Michael
now.
Schumacher in a hospital bed. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
You know, everything you're saying
spitball.
everything you've said right now reminds me of Extras with Sir Patrick Stewart, and he's there and is like, but you see,
and their
everything.
clothes come off. And their clothes come off.
That's how you were selling that to me.
Fucking hell. Let me tell you, I asked for an
everything.
icebreaker, and that was an ice melter from the perspective that
I
that
know.
had gone on so long that all the icebergs have melted.
Yeah,
Okay,
that felt
there
like
you
a
go.
real season of Drive to Survive.
There you go. Yep. Somebody
Jesus.
give that man a camera. Diggs.
So in case you just fast forward all that, Ev wants an unfiltered version of Drive to Survive with an optional beep button from the coaches.
Just to summarize it.
Right, Diggs. F1,
I'm in, by the way.
weirdly enough, F1 aren't hugely confident in Ev's ability to save the sport, and so they've come to you separately. They've teamed up with WWE, and together...
They're doubling the money they're spending because they don't trust me. They're going to double their money and
like,
put,
we need
put it on Digby as well.
We need a plan B. They've teamed up with the WWE, and together they've approached you because they've seen your amateur wrestling promo videos on your socials, and they believe you're exactly the kind of person
on Pornhub,
who can put a face on this crossover event. They want you to do an exhibition match before the Monaco Grand Prix. Full production in the paddock, and they need you to bring an F1 driver in as your tag team partner. So, which driver are you bringing in? What is their wrestling alter ego? And who are you going up against?
Right. Okay. So, firstly, I assume they're working with WWE because they're the only other sporting company really that accepts Saudi money publicly. So, we're going...
Strange bedfellows.
So, I'm currently... In wrestling, I'm currently a heel, which means a bad guy. So I'm going to take the guy that's most easy to hate, which is Lance Stroll.
Topical.
So
Lance.
He's my tag team partner, and he doesn't really need an alter ego. We just need to really drive home.
He just comes in as himself.
He's daddy's little boy. He comes in as himself, but instead of being a nice, well-to-do guy, really hams it up like he's rich.
No. Always on the phone. I can't.
He's like Steve. Yeah.
He's kind of attracted. He's kind of attracted to his sister. All that kind of like stuff. But then on the other tag team,
it's a real Game of Thrones going on there.
Max Verstappen, because he's so good on the mic and he would be such an anti-hero that we'd all go behind. And I guess Lewis Hamilton's a good baby face for all the other reasons. Just tonight, like, you know, he loves to say the right things to the crowd and everything. He's a bit the boring one.
I just want to thank everybody back in the wrestling factory.
Yeah. Amazing wrestler,
all the
but
moves.
then Max is the mouth on the mic. I think that would be fun.
Can we just take a beat on that and just acknowledge that Digby has tried to suggest the reason why he wants Lewis in the ring is because of the reasons he gave, rather than the fact that Digby would just love to smash a chair over Lewis's head. I don't
know if I'd be allowed to, right? That would just seem...
No, man, it's full production.
All fake.
Nothing's off.
It's all fake.
Yeah,
it still fucking hurts when you get here with a chair.
It's all fake.
Hey, all right.
He got hurt bouncing a little bit in his car. On my back. He's great at selling. He is great at selling. That's another reason he's in. Oh, my back. Oh.
You could throw him on a table and he'd come up complaining about his back. You're like, I've seen this before. Hey,
where's the power, guys? Where's my power?
Following Lance Stroll's outing at his own home race in Canada, the rumours are circulating that Lawrence, his dad, has quietly sat him down and suggested it might be time to start thinking about other career paths. So Lance, for fuck knows what reason, has come to you. He needs a new business, specifically, and he was very clear on this, a multi-level marketing company. So for those unaware, it's a pyramid scheme. So he's got the budget from Dad, so it's not a concern. Money's no object. Tay, you are his chief product officer. What is the product?
Crypto. And it'll be...
He's such a crypto bro. You can totally see Lance Stroll being a crypto bro. Yeah.
But real, subtle about it. And his coin will be P18.
What's that?
His number.
Oh, is he? Oh, there you go. I wouldn't know that was his number. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's either that or I was thinking of Daddy Bucks, but that seems a bit on the... Yeah. So... so it'll be P... Yeah, a bit on the nose.
So we got...
Yeah.
All right.
He's crypto bro.
We've got crypto bros, we've got wrestling, and we've got dump buttons. from Ev, audio dumb buttons. That's the creativity on fire there. Also, Ev, you double parked. Did I just see you dual wielding 2 beers?
Next question.
With all that publicly on record, let's get into the reason we're here. It is time for the Canadian Grand Prix review. So Canada, in a few random words, boys: groundhog, sprint, Stroll again, rain, no rain, wrong tyres, civil war, DNSs and DNFs. That is the sport we watch. But before we get into the top 10, first take all round, Canada GP 2026, gents. A fixture that the F1 made a conscious decision to move earlier in the season to avoid the dramatic weather impact. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you indifferent about it? And you're already thinking about the next race. Again, we're going to get into the specifics of it shortly, but yeah, give me your raw dog review. Actually, maybe that should be the name of this segment, Raw Dog Review.
Raw Dog Review.
Diggs, you took a big inhale there. Go.
Yeah, so brief. Loved all the Mercedes back and forth with Russell and Antonelli. Really enjoyed all of that. And then it kind of got a bit boring once the DNF happened. But that was my favorite part. Really, really awesome to watch. But disappointed with McLaren.
Okay, we'll get to them. We will to them.
I don't know if it's the right word.
I'm feeling the same as Diggers.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's nothing
with
different.
What I got here. I'm working with what I got. Let's go.
No,
Ev, did you like the race?
Trying to think. Did I like it? I thought, they didn't really show much of anybody else other than Mercedes. Yeah, it's a bit weird. That's all the coverage. Like, I blame the coverage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
considering the amazing results for some of the drivers, you didn't see most of their races,
right.
which was really weird.
Well, I was going to say it's a bit too cold. These cars are designed to run in like mid 20s.
Yeah.
70s in Fahrenheit.
Yes. And so at Canada, it was a bit cold. It's spring there. So
is it usually warmer or colder? Because I know that they're
warmer.
It's normally warmer.
Okay, but they get more rain.
So things like your tires cool down like exponentially. Yeah. They're not supposed to be at that temperature. The second they get up to temperature, they just lose it immediately.
Okay, let's get into it. Let's start, obviously, with first place. First up, yet again. I'm just looking at Digby. There it is. There's the eye roll. Kimi Antonelli. So, gents, the records keep coming. He is now the youngest driver in the history of Formula One to win 4 consecutive Grand Prix. That stat will be referenced every single week until someone takes it from him or he retires. So, good luck with that one, Diggs. But here's what actually happened this weekend. So, sprint, he tries to go around the outside of Russell at turn 1. Contact. Off track. Gets on the radio calling it. I'm quoting, very naughty.
Wow.
Actually, that was very good. That was very good.
Was it?
He demanded a penalty against his own teammate.
I demand a penalty.
Which obviously, his
who does
teammate
he think he is?
Garage isn't going to. Anyways, whatever. So he tries again later in the sprint race. He goes off track again. He moans on the radio, and then he gets told by Toto Wolff, and more or less told to shut the fuck up. Both drivers were actually then warned by Mercedes, race each other sensibly or we're going to impose rules to make it happen for you. So that's a team telling their 2 championship contenders to behave in round 5. Then we get to the race. After not putting a foot wrong all weekend with sprint pole, sprint win, race pole, come lap 30, Russell's battery fails and he retires from the race. Not very glamorously, I think would be the word.
Gracefully?
Gracefully. That gracefully is the word.
Antonelli inherits the lead and he doesn't look back. He's now 43 points clear at the top of the championship. So a few questions here, boys. I'm going to start with Diggs firstly. Diggs, it's being referred to as this year's civil war. Are Mercedes managing a dynasty or are they managing a problem?
Well, from what I saw this weekend, it's going to be a real problem real quick if Antonelli keeps acting like that. George is incredibly entitled because he's the older driver. It's his turn. It's
Number
his time.
one.
He's Shooter McGavin. And
I've
Kimi
done my time in Williams. I did my
Happy
time
Gilmore.
with the shit car. Yeah.
And yeah, but Kimi is also not doing it very gracefully. He's being a little... It's like, I mean, I didn't think... What's interesting is reading the internet comments. It's like, George is complaining about like what... Actually, it may have been one of us. What Max used to do. And it was like, that's not what Max did. That's not even remotely close to what Max did. It was like, He didn't like aggressively squeeze him out. It was a very hard corner to try and attack on. It was a silly move. I think it was an inexperienced move by Kimi, but I think he would have got him in the end, even if he hadn't DNF'd, unless something had drastically.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Well, it's what I think is it would have come down to how well they did the pit stop, because his tire was degrading real badly just before he DNF'd. So it would have just been how did they handle the pit stop, and whoever came out in front would have won.
So interestingly,
so
that was the question I had, and I was going to come to you, Ev and Tay. But Diggs, again, you've started to answer it, and so feel free to jump in and also kind of finish it. But does Antonelli win this race if George didn't DNF?
I think so.
Really?
He certainly was going to take over at some point, but I think it would have been the pit. So it would have come down to who Mercedes wanted to win, I guess. But I was impressed Toto was actually annoyed at Kimi, because it really feels like Toto wants Kimi.
There was a bit of big dad coming in and fucking scolding the younger child energy about everything.
Well, I wanted to send that meme of Ed Harris from Truman Show. George is about to win after getting pole. Shut his engine down.
Yeah. Was good. Let's get that one up.
Yeah. Shut the televisation
Ev,
down.
You think the same too? You thought that Kimi would have got George?
I think that it was a bit of a yo-yo thing. I forget
It was
who was it that kept trying to overtake on the back straight before the final chicane.
Kimi.
Was it Lewis?
It was.
Oh, you're talking like previously
in the race?
No, in the race. Someone kept trying to overtake on that final corner, unless it was Kimi. I can't remember. And
Kimi did it. Kimi
did
successfully
it a few
a number of
times, and he kept
times,
dipping.
and then George got him back every time.
Yeah, but
No,
Kimi
I
also
don't-
kept dipping his tire in the grass
I think it was
on that
someone
back
else,
straight too.
and it kept whoever it was realized that they could never make it stick, because I think it was Lewis on Max.
Lewis on,
yeah,
Lewis
okay,
on
he was
Max
chasing
or-
Max,
And
yeah.
because they were both using their power on the back
Yes,
straight,
yeah.
and so it kind of cancelled each other out. And then Lewis did it halfway through the lap, because then he saved his battery for that point,
right?
and just caught him off guard. So I don't remember what the question was.
So where you're going with
I literally saw you stop thinking like you dropped off the cliff there. He's run out of tokens again.
So what you are saying is that
Save it,
Kimi
Tate.
did not have the same racecraft as what Lewis did after learning for a few times.
Yeah. Well, I don't
That
think
comes with experience for
they
sure.
didn't show anybody doing that.
It's funny, I've got my
understanding-
notes from like P6 to P10, which we'll obviously talk about, but I don't have a lot to talk about for some of these
because they didn't
to your
fucking
exact
show
point,
it.
Ev, didn't see a lot of it.
No.
Hey, but look, before we kind of roll on to those, I got one for the room. So last year we watched almost the biggest fuck up unfold when McLaren refused to acknowledge, at least publicly, that they had a number one driver. Given what Toto went through with Hamilton and Rosberg back in 2016, yep. Should a win for Antonelli at Monaco cement that Mercedes need to back him as their number one and prioritize his championship pursuit? And if not, at what point in the season does Antonelli have to be winning, and by how much for that decision to be made? I appreciate it's a tough question, right? But like,
it's got to be like halfway, right?
Halfway? You've always been quite adamant about a halfway
and
moment.
also, like as you just said, like it's how you're winning.
Yes.
Is more,
I was going to say, it
more
depends.
important. Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying that because George retired, it doesn't really count, and
but he wasn't really stamping his authority either.
No, if Antonelli starts, let's say Antonelli takes over George and George does the DNF, and then does it again. Like a lot of Antonelli's wins have come from them not being near each other and fighting each other. If they keep fighting and George keeps losing, then it's a simple.
Then
let's
it's
say
a
3 times in
no-brainer.
a row. Yeah, okay. Well, George, you're no longer allowed to fight
So-
because if you cause him to crash, we're fucked, and you're clearly wasting our time and his time by trying to challenge
So
him.
to that
please
point,
stop.
Diggs, to that point, you noted there that this idea that they actually haven't had like this feels like the first weekend we've seen proper Mercedes.
It was really
combat,
fun too.
Wheel-to-wheel combat.
Really fun.
But
Both very good. Like both
very
drove
good. Like, I mean, look,
well.
actually, for the first time you could see the immaturity, for me at least, you could see the immaturity of Kimi coming out and why bookies and qualified F1 pundits would be sitting there going, no, you're still backing George because from a maturity-wise perspective in a racing craft. However, my point I was getting to was this idea that, George, I'm not going to take George's words, but George has obviously had a couple of, well, he thinks strategy calls go against his way, timing calls go his way, and now obviously reliability. However, he said post-race something about the fact that the racing gods don't want him to be a champion. Did you guys see that? Like
anything but F1. It's like anything but me. It's everything else but my ability.
What was the race
driving.
where there was, I think George got new tires, and then straight after he got new tires, there was a safety car, and then
he went into the pits. Yeah.
He was so pissed.
Yeah. He was so pissed. That's where that was that cringe video of Toto and him in the behind the scenes. Actually, it's the type of content
really
he wants based on his Netflix pitch earlier. You know, but it is
like
it's
he wants that video of Toto on the way to the dressing room going, God, I gotta fucking talk to George.
That's right. That's the pitch.
Does anyone else want to do it? No.
I want to see a video.
And then hold on. And then they cut to George, and he's with his manager. I think Toto's going to talk to you. God, how's he going to fucking sugarcoat this one? Oh, George, I love you. Oh, fuck
I thought
off.
you were going to say that he was talking to his manager, and his manager was like, oh, what is it now, George?
Yeah. Can I just say, before I forget it, for whatever reason, and look, I've always been somewhat of a fan of George. I think I've kind of gotten over him because other drivers have come up that I like them more. But there is nothing that fucking winds me up more than when he's standing up after a podium with the interviews and he's throwing the microphone from one hand to another. I don't know why. It just winds me up so fucking much.
It's something that like David Brent would do.
Fidgeting.
Yeah. Equality Street, baby. All right. Well, look, let's move to P2 then. So, Lewis Hamilton. Look, we discussed it at length last week, but Canada is obviously sorry, I dropped my basketball cards. Canada is one of his favorite circuits. He's 6 world championships worth of history here with 7 previous wins, as was revealed in the quiz last week, which Diggs had been paying attention to. And in following suite, his best result in Ferrari was 2nd place on the weekend. He left it late though. The overtake. I mean, Ev, somebody that loves racing, you must have loved that overtake on when he finally got Verstappen. I think it was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 laps left. You know, he's hunting Verstappen for, I want to say the better part of 60 laps. He goes out on the outside of turn 1 and he made it stick. His mum was watching from the garage. There was that wonderful, camera cross where it caught her face. It wasn't Lando's mum, but it was Lewis's mum. Go find the clip if you haven't. Then afterwards in the cool down room, sorry, F, what were you going to say?
Well, no, do you want to finish? I've got
sure.
I've got a strong point that you've reminded me of.
Right, write it down before you forget, because I know you have a habit. It'll go in one ear and out. But I just want to touch on afterwards. So in the cool down room, right? So Hamilton and Verstappen, they're watching back the highlights together. Again, proper wheel-to-wheel racing between the two drivers that, again, 11 championships between them. Verstappen's there saying every time you'd pull 3/10 through the chicanes, I'd get it back on the straight.
Yeah.
2 of the best drivers this sport's ever produced post-battle, chatting like they're watching someone else's race. And given 2021, I can't imagine there was any F1 fan sitting there and not loving that. But look, Hamilton came out and he called it the happiest day at Ferrari so far. He won Driver of the Day. And he gave a
race is a happy
speech
day.
that, I'm not going to name the specific lines, but just out of curiosity, how many of you were playing Lewis Bingo and how many squares did you manage to tick off with his post-race speech?
I'm going to be very honest. I can't watch his interviews. I can't do it. I know. I just assume he does say everything on my bingo list, and I just cross it all off and go, yeah, skip.
Do you think he's couple in front of a mirror?
Yeah.
He said something in French to welcome the fans.
He did. He said merci beaucoup. Yeah, well done.
He
what
just said like
it's
one of his favorite tracks. It's one of the best days he's had on the track in his career. Close, he said it was at Ferrari, so that counts. I just want to thank the people in the team and the factory and the
bingo,
whatever.
Yep.
I just can't remember now. It's been a while.
Well, let me give you a couple of others. I said I wasn't going to list them, but you got me on a roll. There was the, let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing. Like that. Yeah. He's gone away from Still Your Eyes, but it's let's keep pushing. And
did he do this? Did he do this? Did he like drag the hand down the face?
That's a good question.
Did he have his non-alcoholic tequila and be like,
yeah, he had his agave.
Great drink.
You could shot this.
Look, before we go to the serious question, Ev, what was your point? What did you want to say?
Yeah,
If you tell me you've forgotten.
No. This happens at least maybe once a year. And I always find it very funny given the expertise from like everybody at Sky or any
On this
journalist
podcast.
or us. I can explain a lot of things in layman, or at least I understand
Can you?
layman content.
I don't know.
In football terms?
Yeah.
So one thing that flies in the face of not common sense, but like the sensibility of Formula One, Lewis spent not the whole race, but he came on the radio twice to say, "Man, I need more power."
Yeah.
Right? How did you overtake another car if
you didn't have the
you
power.
didn't have any power?
Yeah. I've never understood that.
doesn't. I know that they do. So they've got lots of
delay the
engine
radio.
modes, right? So you have to.
Yeah.
They'll tell you to go to a mode, and
Yeah.
you've got to stay there. You're not allowed to. The team won't allow you to give
Change
it
it
back.
maximum because you'll just burn out the engine.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
whether or not he kept it, sometimes you'll hear drivers saying like, "Oh, can you give me more power?" And they'll say, "All right, go to Strat 7,
C.
and that'll be a little
So-
bit more power." But then you've got to turn it off if you don't make the pass, stuff like that. So whether or not
Yes.
that did happen,
Yep.
I don't know.
Hey, look, one serious question before we do move on. Does a Hamilton podium in Montreal hit differently in a Ferrari than it ever did in a Silver Arrow?
Yes,
I mean,
because it feels
yeah?
like it wasn't the car that got him on the podium more so.
Oh, I like that.
I know there was a few rough things for McLaren and stuff, but I was happy for him. I mean, there must have been many points in his career at Ferrari where he was just like, I'm never going to get on a podium again.
Yeah.
And then at the start
Yeah.
of the year,
Especially last
kind
season.
of sniff it out. We kind of sniff it out that they're getting close this year. So it was cool. It was exciting. And it proves, to our point last week, that he is very good at this track. So he didn't win 7 races because his car was fast.
Because of
He's
his car.
genuinely good at this
Yeah,
track.
and-
Somebody asked
Wow.
him about
There you
like
go.
what's changed, and he said he's actually stopped with the
Simulator.
Whining.
Yeah.
He doesn't he does the simulator a little bit just to do the
So that's just
figure out the
So it's all instinct.
deployment.
so
Yes,
that's
he was
one
like,
less. That's one less person he has to thank, I guess, when he wins a race. Thanks to the
But that
people
just
set up
shows-
the simulator.
That just shows that it's more natural for him compared to like Max,
Yeah.
where he is constantly training.
Well,
Constantly on
we'll
the
get it to
sim.
Max, but look, because we're on Ferrari, you know, we'll get to P3 in a second. Obviously, Max Verstappen, but let's just quickly talk Lewis's teammate Charles Leclerc. So, Charles came in 4th, which actually anybody would be quite happy with. You know, at the end of the day, it's the second best car, more or less, on the track. But look, he had a completely contrasting weekend to that of Lewis, and so I think it's fair to say he wasn't happy. He actually came out and he called it the worst weekend of his career, which I think says a lot.
I think I can think of some worse ones.
Yeah, I'm thinking Monaco. I'm thinking.
What
look,
was it? What was the one
Hamilton-
where he was like sitting on the edge of the fucking track? It was like hungry or something. He was up.
Oh,
on
yeah,
the-
yeah.
crying.
Yeah.
Short
Well,
memories
look,
of these
I mean,
drivers.
right, just
Charles
like
was
his helmet's on, so he just has to do like this.
It's Hamilton, you know, to your point, Ev, you know, he avoided the simulator apparently in prep for this. You're working on the basis that Leclerc presumably did prepare as normal, but it wasn't the weekend that we're used to seeing from Charles. And what I mean by that is, again, P4 is not a bad result, but he just seemed to be in no man's land, and he seemed to really struggle with the car, and particularly referred to his struggles with the car to the point where it was almost a role reversal because Charles was talking. There was almost like, you know, speech notes out of Lewis to the point where he just couldn't understand the difference between his car and Lewis's car. And usually we hear that with Lewis not understanding while Charles is able to extract more out of the car. But look, there was a moment in the race which I actually think might have been a big hindrance for Charles's race, and that was the Hudjar incident. So I'm sure you guys saw it, but you know, for a huge chunk of the race, Charles was trying to get past Hudjar, and Hudjar, you know, you got to remember he's sophomore year, right? Second year rookie. He's not had a great season, and Ev, you'd be the first to acknowledge that his driving was almost erratic. So multiple defensive moves in the braking zone. You know, Leclerc even jumped on the radio, and this always amazes me that these guys have the capacity to casually talk on radio when,
Well,
at the end of the day, you know, I think Charles had said that was nearly a huge one, as in like that was almost a massive
Crash.
accident because of Hudjar. And look, Isaac, got a 10-second penalty and a stop and go. Leclerc finally was able to get past Isaac during that, but it was by lap 40. But did you know he hasn't podiumed in Canada since 2019? Which, Diggs, was that his first year in Ferrari or second? I think it might have been his first.
I think it's his first.
First. Look, Hamilton's now only 3 points behind him in the championship. And Antonelli, also a sophomore, has actually only 4 wins less than Charles. So just sit with that for a second. The Ferrari dynamic at the moment seems to be regularly one happy driver and one unhappy driver. But gents, Lewis has come out on the weekend and he's confirmed that he would be at Ferrari next year and ideally for many years more. It's amazing, by the way. Like, Lewis's narrative changes so quickly.
Told you, very short memories, these drivers, mate.
Yeah. But, and I'm asking this with the full caveat that Charles is one of my favorite drivers. But at what point does the potential of Charles Leclerc actually start becoming redundant? So I mentioned it last week. He's like 8 years with Ferrari. He's only just got over a handful of wins. I think it's 8. Diggs, what point does Charles' future at Ferrari begin to be questioned with obviously the likes of Behrman in the wings? We've joked that it should be Lewis stepping aside, but I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there.
Well, I think this year is a good test because their car is obviously not as shit as it has been. So they're kind of in the mix, even if they're not the best. They're in the mix of podiums every now and then. So I guess you could just take it. Whoever's top dog at the end of this year is the one who we should all be backing to stay in Ferrari, because then it's kind of like, I don't know. He does whine a lot, Charles. It's not much better than Lewis, but it's like I feel like we're all waiting for him to have his moment, and it's never going to come unless Ferrari
doesn't
sort the
seem
car
to be
out.
coming.
It seems. I think you're right. I think if Lewis ends up being ahead of him, I think it's safe to say that Charles will never be anything more than what he is now.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yep. He's like the Danny Ricciardo of Ferrari.
No.
Could well be. He could just retire from Ferrari, from F1.
I mean, he doesn't need the money. Let's be honest. He
just bought a boat.
£13 million boat, didn't he?
Yeah. It's a beautiful boat.
Guys. I bet it. Yeah. What a shock.
Yeah. He's not going to be a rundown.
The shittest boat for £13 million.
He probably has a boat broker who like picked the boat for him. He's like, just tell me what you want in the boat. I'll
probably some bloke in Monaco.
I think he had it made
for like 70 mil, and he was like, I can't be bothered to fucking sell it.
Yeah. I just wanted it for the week.
It is disappointing though, because I remember
don't know how to use Airbnb. Just buy me a boat.
I remember one of the Drive to Survive episodes, and he was coming out of, I think, Ferrari HQ or somewhere, and the fans around him when he was coming out of the gate and stuff was just like intense, and it was amazing to watch. And it's such a shame to sort of not hit, and anything could change obviously, but it's a shame that if it were to happen, that he never amounted to what they were hoping he'd amount to.
Well, they have to take some responsibility for that, because I don't think you can question him as a driver. He is better than Lewis, I'm going to say. However, one thing to note, and I thought to myself, and I kind of banked it when I was watching it happen, is fascinating watching the Ferrari garage regularly sing the Italian anthem at the moment.
Yeah,
it's very interesting, and it just begs the question. And I know we asked it a long time ago, and we keep talking about the fact, and and even the press now are starting to pick up on the Behrman connection, and obviously being a Ferrari junior. But fuck, man, Antonelli at Ferrari, you can see it. It's a marketer's match made in heaven. It's very, as long as that kid doesn't go on and be, well, actually, I'm sure if he's a brat, even better. Schumacher was, Niki Lauda was. There's a lot of.
That's so bad.
Right. P3, as I said, in rounding out the podium, and as alluded to by the presence of him in the post-race cool room, was that of Max Verstappen. So, gents, I can't believe we're saying this. In saying that, it's only round 5, but it has been 3 months of the F1 season. It's Max's first podium of 2026. First podium for the Red Bull Ford power unit. And Laurent Mekies, the CEO of Red Bull, has called it a historic moment in lieu of that. Verstappen's response, and this is peak Max, we can do better. So in terms of his race, he started P4. He inherited P2 after Russell retired. But as noted, he lost it to Hamilton with a couple of laps left. His debrief on that again, typically straightforwardly honest, no drama about the result. The drama, however, came at the press conference. He renewed his quit threat following recent bullshit and drama about the regulation changes, specifically if the proposed 60-40 combustion to electric split isn't approved for next year, he's out. So last week we suggested that was the plan. The last news headlines I saw was 60-40, it's locked in. However, it appears, and it seems to have been suggested, that there is a pretty significant complication in that several manufacturers are reportedly blocking that change because the current 50-50 setup suits their engines better. So, gents, I know we've spoken about this entire topic to death, but it just refuses to die given the political minefield. To that point, is Max the canary in the coal mine? You know, is this political posturing, or is this a genuine crisis for the F1 with regards to what the fuck they're going to do with these regs next year?
It's 100% a crisis. It's like, if I would love to see, if they don't go through with it, I would love to see Max be like, right, I'm out.
Well, okay, so did you guys see the post-race conference with Max? I think it was Natalie.
All I saw was when it was related to McLaren stuff.
Yeah, no. So there's this moment, and it's live TV, right? So again, this is raw. They're exhausted. It's kind of fucking wild, the media pen kind of reality for these guys, particularly if they've had a bad day or there's bad agendas at play. But Max was specifically asked about this, and he seriously, without a quiver of a lie, said at minimum it needs to be 60-40 for him to stick around. At minimum. So I don't think he's fucking around.
Nah.
So who's trying to block that from happening?
So it's a good question. So I didn't get to the depths. Ev, you may know, but the engine manufacturers that have since come out potentially blocking the idea of a shift to 60-40. Do you know who it is? I didn't think it was Mercedes.
I think it's Ferrari.
No, I don't know
Is it Ferrari?
who it is.
Well, I mean, they've just released their electric car. Which
Exactly.
We'll get to
That's why I'm thinking. that maybe they'd be.
It might be Red Bull.
Oh, right.
Ferrari and Audi are the primary manufacturers trying to block or delay the
well
planned
done, Diggs.
shift.
Because he didn't look it up.
Because before I double checked that.
Thank you. No,
I double checked
that's
that.
all right.
That's what they do on the Joe Rogan show, mate. Most popular.
Yeah,
podcast.
that's right. Yeah. They bring it up on screen.
Fuck me,
right?
Yeah. So I was gonna before I checked it, I was like, I bet it's some shit team where it makes absolutely no difference, like Audi.
Haas.
And it is fucking Audi. Yeah, like Audi and Haas are like, no, we want it to be 50-50.
But I'm not surprised to hear that it's Audi because they're one of the
Audi.
new teams, right? Like they're the ones that I believe. And again, don't fact check us on this, but I believe that their entire, rationalization of joining F1 was in the pursuit of, the elevation of electric
But they're shit.
engines.
So it shouldn't matter what they want. Like Ferrari, it matters, but it's like
These teams are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, right? They pay their way in. Like, but
They're not helping the sport. If like the best driver on the track is saying it needs to be this, and the team coming last every week is going, no, it needs to be this. Like, why are we listening to the team at the back?
Yeah, agreed.
Shout louder if you're in the back.
It's like Lance Stroll coming up and going, no, it definitely needs to be 50-50, and everyone going, good point, Lance. Yeah, I think
we'll take that on board.
We'll take that on board.
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1, in the bin.
Yeah. Bye, Max.
All right. Well, I tell you what. Maybe
racing.
This,
Bring on live racing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to get very interesting.
Could
you could
imagine?
see, and I'll tell you, wouldn't it be a statement? Wouldn't it just be a statement that the best driver? I'm saying that. I'm not putting it in quotation marks. I'm saying that the best, most natural racing driver possibly in F1 history. I know there would be lots of comparisons, and people would be like, "No, it's LeBron James." I think there's remit to say that there are probably arguments, that there were betters in certain way. However, imagine the PR fucking crisis that old mate, friend of the show, MBS is going to have on him, Stefano Domenicali, if Max Verstappen turns around and goes, I fucking warned you, I'm out. Yep. Fuck you. You're cool.
You're
fuck you,
cool.
I'm out.
Fuck you.
I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Like, and reputationally, and I think the Dutch make up a huge, market of interest and consumption of F1. That if Max were to walk away, even just broadly Europe, That's bad for F1, and it looks bad.
Can I have a quick hot take here?
Let's go, baby. Spill
I know
it all
we're
over me.
here. We're talking F1. We're here to promote F1 and stuff. We're
No, we're here to
commentating, sorry.
talk F1, like you said.
Okay, well,
we
Like you
can't
said.
promote. We're not getting paid.
F1, personally, I think F1 are really struggling to keep the audience there at the moment. It's kind of been a bit
Well, the
boring.
ratings.
Well, it's quite
Yeah,
artificial.
That's why they're
Bingo.
hiring F.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if Max was to go, I
Yeah,
think
they're desperate.
any other year, it's kind of like, oh, well, that sucks. If he goes, it's like, he is one of the big reasons anyone will. He's one of the only people keeping it interesting. I don't care for a lot of the drivers this year.
Agreed.
We're not really hearing, like, George and Kimi is fun, but, like, they're not the most likable people.
Diggs, let me tell you, from somebody that has spent years working on the athlete side of things, majority of people, particularly new fans to sport, do not enter through the sport. They enter through the personalities.
Yeah, 100%.
And Max
Yeah.
Verstappen is one of the biggest personalities. And he is one of those, you either love him or you hate him. But that polarizing nature,
That's
that
good.
jeopardy
That's
of
what you want.
character is, you talked about it earlier when you were trying to spill us the whole WWE thing and you being a heel. It's why we also love Horner. It's why we want Horner back, right?
Yeah.
Because you want those characters that are polarizing.
You want the
that say
heroes
how
and villains. Yeah.
Fucking oath you do. And
That's
it
always
just
been
happens
an
to be that he's
attraction of the
fucking a
F1.
brilliant driver.
And it's the F1's always had that because they didn't even need to create it. It just it attracted people in the sport that were a bit cunty, and
Yeah, well,
they're
you have
also
to be.
good looking. But they
You
also
have
very
to
good.
be.
I agree.
Right,
agree.
you have to be, otherwise you can't be in the sport. And
Yeah.
it really feels like they're trying to. Oh no, we want everyone to like it. Let's stop.
Yeah,
being
yeah,
like
yeah.
Well,
companies.
this
So-
on that front, it got brought up where, certain individuals, I know we'll touch on this a little bit, but just touching on a little bit right now, is that everyone's all buddies and they all have their separate relationships, all the drivers, and they do stuff afterwards and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, but back in the day, they didn't really do any of that.
Yeah,
didn't
I mean
have
that's
those
a younger
relationships.
generation of athlete versus an older generation.
Yeah.
Broadly speaking, I think there are fundamental cultural differences between one and however, in saying that, at least from a media perspective and at least from a personality perspective, like, people like those drivers wouldn't choose not to be friends with Max because he says it how he is. That's probably why they choose to be friends with him and hang out with him. It's just, I think there is more of a we're in this together type mentality for elite athletes.
They'd be their own team because they would hate all that extra stuff.
Oh, they would fuck. Can you imagine how much they hate?
Most of these sports stars hate all the media stuff and all the content.
They
like
hate
the
the media
videos,
stuff, but let me
the
tell you who
videos
else
of them
they also
standing
hate.
there like this. They
Yeah.
hate doing that. That's just a content day where they stand in front of the fucking.
Yeah, that's
camera.
right.
hate
I can
MBS.
tell you, they hate fucking MBS. They hate Stefano. They hate those fucking
corporate
elite
twats.
CEO corporate twats. And and again, I glazed over it a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember what race it was. Ev, you may recall. But there was a moment where like MBS came out of like the bushes behind. Maybe it might have been. I can't remember the driver, and he was like trying to hug him and like.
It was either
high-five him.
Lewis or Max.
It was
It
one
was
of
one
those
of them.
guys.
Yeah.
And you just like fuck off, man. Anyway,
Came out of the
we've
bushes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We're now in and we're still on the podium.
Yeah. No.
Given how much attention Max Verstappen has brought to GT3 racing, I was
Yes.
surprised.
And
Yeah.
they're
not
sold
the
out.
MBS, also there because the FIA, they've got World
That's
Rally,
right.
they've
That's
got
right.
GT3, GT2,
WEC.
Well, they're officially across all, proper racing, right?
yeah,
They
like
are
European racing.
Yeah.
I don't ever see him at WRC.
No,
I
it's
don't
weird
ever
that he's
see him at
always just at the
LMP1. Oh,
F1.
what a
Yeah.
coincidence. It's always like, bro, you've got
He's-
more jobs than this isn't even your biggest job. Like, go.
Also, just I don't want to labor on that guy because I actually know nothing about him. However, doing a bit of a old dive into the Top Gear episodes.
Right, I
And-
saw that as well.
Did you guys see when MBS was on Top Gear in like
Yeah,
the late
with
90s with Jeremy
96.
Clarkson?
96, and he was going
You
through his
should
car
see-
collection.
You
his
should see
F-
MBS's car collection.
It is
It's
mental.
outrageous.
Yeah.
It's fucking outrageous. And
They're
Ev, he was a
gorgeous.
rally driver.
Yeah, I think he did a lot of things. I know he's got like
Good point.
He took Toto out for a drive in his Mercedes GTR, like the very famous mid
The
90s.
one of 20.
Yeah, and it's like not even Toto has that car,
Wow.
and it's like it's just like it's very strange.
It is
I
strange.
know that normal people can't relate to that kind of money.
It's like a Dubai airport car park.
No.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
The barn finds where they're just
Yeah,
covered in sand.
They're
Yeah,
just
that's what I
covered,
meant.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're
the
just being
graveyard.
left behind, abandoned.
Do you think when MBS watched the F1 movie and at the end Stefano is like,
Yeah. MBS is like, wait, how do I get in the movie?
yeah, why wasn't that me?
No, you can imagine, Ev, that
He'd
come
be
the
so
Monday,
jealous.
the Monday after the release.
Yeah,
Bing! First email at like 12:01 a.m. into Stefano's inbox is,
Yeah.
"Hi Stefano, it's Mohammed bin Sulayem here, as you know. I couldn't help but notice on the weekend when watching the premiere of the F1 movie that
you were
in it, yet somehow I wasn't. Was there a problem?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't I get
Was
the
there-
invitation?"
Was there
did
a
you forget
memo?
to email me?
Yeah,
Imagine there was an email that I missed.
call me when you
Forgive me
get this email.
Forgive me for my
Call me when you
forgetfulness.
get this email. Moving forward, please
Best
ensure that I
regards.
am looped into all communications regarding publicity, press. All right, well, let's get back on track, figuratively and metaphorically. Where do we go? We done
We're
1 to 4.
fourth. We're up to 4.
P5. No, we done
5.
4. We did
Oh,
Charles.
we did Charles.
Yep. So P5, alluded to earlier, Isak Hadjar, so Verstappen's Red Bull teammate. Look, he started in P7. He briefly ran P4 after the VSC gave Ferrari a double stack stop fuck up. He refused to give it up. He defended hard and obviously too hard. Multiple direction changes, copped a penalty, and then he went on and he still finished 5th anyway, which I think alludes to, again, boys, why we probably didn't see much other than the top 5. Even Isak we didn't see much of, because there was obviously light years there between kind of that top 5 and the rest, because he was able to take a penalty in the pit
And still
come out and finish 5th. Look, his post-race apology to Leclerc, quotation marks, it wasn't even on purpose. Okay. I just got confused where he was heading. It was a bit stupid. Look, it's refreshingly honest. Goes back to that point about old school versus new school generation of I guess, athletes. A little bit more humility, vulnerability at times. Some people think it's not welcome in the sport. Cue Hamilton's dad giving him a hug when he came off the track, and I remember Digby's outrage. Hey, look, I'm
still outraged by that. This is not the same thing.
Hey, look, Red Bull have managed to get both cars in the points in the same race for the first time this year. Look, I don't actually have anything specific to call out here on Isak, but any specific comments or questions from you? Because to your point earlier, I didn't see a lot of his race.
To be honest, I think
again, this is the area of the pack that you didn't get to see. It was awesome. I assume it was an awesome result for him, but it was like I don't know.
He was pretty shitty afterwards.
Was it?
Yeah.
Like he should be happy with that, but perhaps he felt he deserved better. So,
well, I mean, he was probably shitty because he got the penalty, but it sounds like he wouldn't have been that much closer.
I don't think he would have held off Charles.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Ev, I have a random question for you, and it's going back to your 30-second elevator pitch at the start, which lasted 5 minutes.
It was a long elevator ride.
You pressed the stop button halfway down.
You just did all of them.
Yeah.
Christmas tree. That.
I guess we've got some time.
Has the French traditionally been a big supporter and consumer of F1? I know they've lost their Grand Prix, but they've got Gasly, they've got Ocon, they've got Hadjar, and yet their ratings, they've got Alpine too. They've got a French fucking team. But yeah, I mean, it's just, can you full circle that for me?
I think what's happened is that it's very confusing with the regulations, like needlessly so, and then you've had 5 weeks off or something.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to maintain
it's a good point.
Ratings
it's a good
or
point.
interest?
Casual interest in this.
Well, you do it through Idiots of F1, bud. That's how you do it.
But even then, the narrative story of this season isn't
compelling,
good, like the way that one season with Lewis and Max was.
Yeah. Okay.
Who was the heroes of this season are George Russell, who's like a tub of mayonnaise on camera, and who's like a black hole of charisma, and Kimi Antonelli.
Do you know what about George Russell? I'm sure we've made this joke before. He is the high school milk monitor, isn't he? Like, have we established that?
He's
He's the hall monitor.
He's the hall. Don't run in the hallway.
He's the prefect.
I do find it pretty rich hearing Ev complain about the personality of George Russell when his favorite driver is Lewis Hamilton.
There's a difference of being PR trained.
No. I'm going to defend that a little bit, Diggs, because at least Lewis had a bit of an edge when he started out. George has been fucking mayonnaise from day one, man. Like,
that's why I called him beige.
And I'm sorry, my favorite clip, and it will go down, and unfortunately for George, it'll probably go down as the visual highlight, is when he's crying in the media pen and Daniel Ricciardo and
they're laughing at
Max
him
Verstappen are behind him laughing at him. I'm sorry, but that is like peak George Russell. Like,
I do like that.
All right, well, let's keep moving before I upset Diggs too much.
Where was Lewis Hamilton's dad then?
Oh my God! You can't base it on whose Lewis's dad is willing to hug.
Wow,
he knew that.
Where was saying why did it? Why I just
I'm glad you made that connection,
like...
Tay. I'm glad you made that connection. Hey, in P6 was Colapinto, and I'm going to cover off his teammate Gasly, who's P8. I'm going to put them together.
Bullshit.
But look,
it's absolute bullshit.
If we just cover off the second half of the top 10, again, pretty impressive by Alpine. From Colapinto's perspective, I believe his throttle pedal failed in Friday practice, so he actually got 0 laps in. And obviously that's really bad in a sprint weekend because you've only got one practice session and then you're straight into race mode. He finished P9 in the sprint race, so out of the points for sprint, but still fairly competitive when we're talking about 22 drivers. Great. But then he went much better in the actual race, gents, and he scored 6th place, which is actually from a 10th. Well, look, the fact is, you're right to call it out. There is an element of attrition.
All I said was there are a few DNFs, so if anyone's discrediting him,
but
mate.
Racing is as much about being there at the end. What do they say? You've got to finish the race.
You've got to finish.
Yeah, to finish first, you've got to finish. Something like that.
We'll bust him.
Yeah, we'll put it on a T-shirt. But look, it's his back-to-back career results, right? So P7 in Miami, P6 in Canada, maybe P5 in Monaco at that rate. Double points, obviously, for Alpine with Gasly, who also came in P8.
Not good enough.
Gents,
not for your prediction.
We've been super guilty of writing off Colapinto. Not just because he replaced Aussie Jack Doohan, but because when he did replace him, he didn't get 1 point for most of the entire season. That said, he's now outscored his teammate a few weeks in a row, and he has grabbed points in 3 of the 5 races this year. Gents, this form turnaround is happens to coincide with this trip home in the break where I think I alluded to it a couple of weeks ago, Diggs. It might have been when you were off. Over 400,000 Argentines apparently laced the streets to see him when he did.
Oh man, I thought you were going to say something really different like this.
No.
Turn of form comes from 400,000 Argentinian fans death threatening Pierre Gasly,
just bombarding him.
Oh, you win, I'll place, whatever, mate.
How impressive is this Alpine turnaround, and particularly the Colapinto turnaround for you guys?
I mean, it's always fun seeing a team like Alpine up. I mean, like I said, I know I made a joke. Wasn't good enough. I really thought Gasly would be up there somewhere. But no, it's great. It's good for them. They would need the cash, I imagine, more than most teams.
Yes.
I forget that's Renault. It used to be Renault.
I know.
Well,
they should be there, but like they're so hit and miss. But
they're using Mercedes engine. It's not even Renault engine anymore.
That's true. It's not even their engine anymore, which is super weird. But Ev, I'm going to come to you because you have been quite outspoken, not about Colapinto, but about this man I'm about to mention.
Oh, no.
Do you owe Flavio an apology? As it would appear maybe that he was right on doubling down on Franco. Because let's be honest,
Doohan wouldn't have been up there in the points.
Flavio has been so outspoken
How do we know
about
that?
Franco. What?
How do we know Doohan wouldn't got 5th?
Well, true. True. But yeah, I mean, Ev, is this? I don't know anything about Flavio. You do. But I mean, is he just a natural spot of good talent? Because again, this is in a car that last year was last. I think Alpine was last year. Gasly has proven he's a capable driver, but Colapinto is young and he's clearly got some exceptional skills. Yeah. Is Flavio on the money here, or is this a bit premature?
Yeah, again, I don't care if he's right in the long term. Also, he's only positive about Colapinto because of the extra $20 million that Colapinto
Lots of money
brought.
that comes from
And
sponsors.
and so if Jack Doohan doesn't have that, and obviously the Argentinians are supporting him hand over fist.
Yeah.
Whereas in Australia, nobody really gave a shit about
Jack Doohan.
Jack Doohan.
I keep calling him Mick. That's how much he meant.
Yeah, we care about Mick Doohan.
Yeah. We care about winners after they're winners, man.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit disingenuous to paint him as being some
Fair enough.
father figure who's kind of cracked the whip and maybe, because he's very much like Helmut Marko, where he'll throw someone in the deep end, and then if you drown, he'll blame you for drowning.
Well, it's because his foot was on your head.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
all right.
That's all.
Okay. Well, look, let's just round out the rest of the top 10. So we've done P8 with Gasly, but P7, P9 and P10. So in the final three positions, we had all pod favourites, Liam Lawson in P7, Carlos Sainz in P9, and Ollie Behrman in P10. So just very quickly, and this for me is, and your guys' points at the beginning of the episode is really doubled down here, is that I saw nothing of Liam Lawson's race, but P7 is an exceptional result for that racing bull.
Another
particularly because his teammate
we had no idea about.
Yeah, that's right. And his teammate didn't even get out of the grid, right? So
there's a joke. There's a Family Guy joke where Maggie Gyllenhaal and Jake Gyllenhaal are arguing, and they go, "No, it's you. No, it's you." And then like Peter Griffin walks in, and is like, "What are you arguing about?" And it's like, "We're arguing about who's like more box office poison." And I couldn't stop thinking about, like, do you think Lance Stroll and Liam Lawson are arguing over who's more disliked? You are.
No, you. I'm sorry. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Liam. We don't need to go over it again because we covered it off when Digby started talking about running into Aussies and New Zealanders overseas, and how it's hard to back someone with the same accent. But look, the reality is, guys, it's his equal best result for 2026. He's actually now 10th in the Drivers' Championship. And I think you have to credit your top 10. I mean, we talk about them every week from a race-by-race perspective, but in terms of the actual Drivers' Championship, right now, Liam Lawson is the 10th best driver in the world. He's not the first best driver in the world, which he thinks he is, based on what we have seen. Which I'll credit him. I like his ego. I like it. I like the bravado. I like characters like that.
You know how they've got the...
Liam, how are you feeling this season's going? Well, as the best driver on the grid, I can tell you it's very frustrating only being 10.
All those simulators, all the simulators have got multi-million-dollar simulators that are proper, like, top secret corporate secrecy behind the technology they use for...
Say secret again. Yeah.
Right?
Secret.
And so they get into the simulator, and it's like an F16 sim, like it's got all the hydraulics and all of this.
Yeah.
Do you think when that Liam Lawson comes in, Liam, all right, we'll be ready in 5 minutes. And then they open the door and they let him in. And instead of the multi-million-dollar, like 5-axis thing that's doing all of this, he's got one of those, like, the chairs they give a child to get a haircut, and it's like, and it's just on a spring that goes back and like, oh, bit more front grip.
Those things fucking hurt when you lean back too far, and then you got to get it off, and it springs and gets somebody the shins.
Or if they're old enough, he's like the Penguin when the Penguin in Batman Returns was in the little Batmobile and he keeps mashing the buttons.
One thing that would improve the enjoyment of F1 is if people like Liam, the guys towards the bottom, did start speaking like that in there. But like, geez, you think Lewis has got it rough? I'm the best driver on the grid, and I'm sitting at 10th. Like, I would genuinely be like, I'm all in on this guy. This guy gets it. This guy gets what we want to see.
Is that not what Lewis was like in 2008, 2009?
No, because he thinks it, but he doesn't say it, which is it's the opposite of what we want. We want someone to say it, even if they don't believe it.
Yeah, I don't know. At least the media painted him. Anyways, look, one for another day. P9, Sainz, the only driver to score having started on the wrong tyres. So we're going to get to McLaren in a minute. But he started on intermediates, I believe. He stopped switched to the mediums, found strong pace. He ended up actually matching McLaren's around him, which is unbelievable given where Williams has been at. It's his third P9 in 4 races. And lastly, accompanying the smooth operator over the finish line in the final points position for the weekend was some of our favourites, mostly Taste, Ollie Behrman, future Ferrari hopeful. First point since China, which actually feels like forever ago. It was only a couple of races ago, but month-wise, it was forever ago.
Wow. Okay.
But,
wow.
Gents, I think it's important to hero him right now because it's about this time of the fixture every year, particularly when you go into a stretch of back-to-back races, notably in Europe where teams start bringing more upgrades because they're close to their factories. This is often when Haas starts going backwards while everyone is going forwards. So I think we should appreciate Ollie for the time being. Fuck Ocon. He's been nowhere to the point where it sounds like he's on the nose there anyway.
Oh, they came out and said...
They
came out and said that's not true.
Yeah, well, yeah. But look, of Lawson, Gasly, Sainz, Behrman, who genuinely excites you most for the next few months?
Of the low tier?
Yeah, of our bottom 4. Who's got you most excited for the next?
Gasly feels like least of a flash in the pan, I guess.
True.
So I'm more excited about him.
Gasly
than
feels
Colapinto.
like Leclerc.
Yeah.
But I think Sainz. I always like seeing Sainz do well. So I'm excited.
You like the
to
Sainz?
see.
Yeah, same. I like Sainz as well. Out of all of them,
I'd be more happy for him than anyone else.
Agreed.
Then Behrman, Liam Lawson's down the bit. I'm not that excited for him.
All right. Well, that's the top 10 on that absolute.
But he's the best driver on the grid.
Suck of oxygen.
Best driver.
But there are 2 things we cannot skip past before we finish review. Look, we've alluded to it, but let's just touch on McLaren. Let's round them out. After all our premature ejaculation about them last week, it's fair to say that they've just endured their worst weekend. I actually want to say worst weekend of the year because at the beginning of the year you were
Which
like,
speaks
new
volumes.
regs, like shit happens, But look, firstly, both cars started on intermediates in effectively dry conditions. Norris and Piastri did both end up dropping back. They switched to slicks by lap 2. They spent the rest of the race trying to recover, making matters worse. It was a great start, but that was a flash in the pan.
Shortly lived.
Norris ended up retiring from P8 on lap 40, apparently gearbox issues. Piastri finished P11 after a 10-second penalty, which, to be fair, was the most uncharacteristic Oscar Piastri driving I've ever seen. He literally dived up the inside. There was no fucking room, and he plowed into Albon. I'm actually surprised Piastri didn't fuck his car. Clearly a lot of frustration.
He was so pissed off at the start.
He was. Yeah. And that chat between him and his radio engineers.
Oh, and wasn't that ridiculous?
You've ingrained in me through your expertise as an armchair expert, when you want to be, this idea that it's not about those that sit at the pit wall that need to make the instinctive decisions. It's the drivers that can feel it. Oscar is on the radio on 4 separate occasions in the formation lap, all but saying, you fucked up, you've got this wrong, bring me in right now. I'd rather start in the pit lanes on fucking slicks than start on the track in intermediates. And they're like, oh, well, Oscar, everyone else on softs aren't going to be able to get to the temperature. This is a great opportunity. And then, I don't know who his race engineer is. I always forget his name. He probably would have been like, see, told you, Oscar, after the first 3 corners of Lando. And then they just ate shit, right? But look, Oscar's post-race assessment was 4 words. We look like idiots. Lads, we're going to get predictions in a minute.
Thanks for the
plug, Oscar.
Yeah. we should take that soundbite actually and use it.
Yeah, I agree. We've said it so many times that a week is a long time in F1, but we were so pumped, and we're going to get to our predictions in a second. We all thought McLaren were going to show up this weekend. But lastly, Canada GP means Canada Stroll watch. So Aston Martin replaced their power unit components beyond the permitted allocation without getting technical delegate approval. Lance Stroll's home race resulted in a pit lane start. Obviously, Ev, you've touched on that. He went on to finish 15th, but I'm just going to caveat that. That was second last.
Did I not say that? Did I not say
second
15,
last?
Or did I say 16?
Oh, we did our predictions for last
year.
I forgot those. I didn't even write them down.
Because Tay said he was going to come 24th, and I was like, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I said something like 15th or 16th. Oh, God.
Yeah, I think I
would
said
be close.
17th.
Yeah.
But look, it's second last, given, we had the DNS of Lindblad, and then we had the DNFs of George, Perez, Lando, Albon, and obviously teammate Alonso. He actually finished 4 laps down, which I don't understand that. But fair to say that there was...
Sorry, while we're on that, I kind of understand that because Bottas got overtaken within, like, what is it, 6 laps?
You mean laps?
They lapped...
Yeah, lap.
Yeah, like he got lapped.
I figured that's
really quick for a Canadian race. I thought.
Did he start
quick.
in the pits as well, though?
No.
No.
Couple.
So the fact that he's saying he got lapped 4 times.
4 times.
Is that what you're
he
saying?
must have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying that doesn't seem surprising. It would have if I hadn't have noticed that in the race. Like, it's obviously something's up, and everyone's just absolutely smashing around this.
Well, look, I think it's fair to say, and we used the term quantum leap last week when we were talking about Aston Martin. That was some of the language coming out, not necessarily from Aston Martin, but maybe the media. But one thing I wanted to flag with you lads, there's a tracker that highlights the qualifying head-to-head streaks for drivers, for teammates.
Isn't it like 40-0 or something?
As it stands,
0 to
Alonso has
41.
a 58-8 head-to-head over Stroll in qualifying. But the more interesting fact is that it currently sits at 41-0 by way of streaks, as in Stroll hasn't out-qualified Alonso in 41 outings. The next closest string, I believe it's Sainz and Albon, which sits at 4-0. I'm not going to ask a loaded question. I'm simply going to ask whether you guys have any comments about Lance Stroll before we move on.
What's interesting is that he even said, I think recently, that he's the better driver as well. He even said that he's better than Alonso, and he's doing better than Alonso. But
this is why he's my tag team partner.
But he clearly doesn't. He doesn't know the stats. He must not be tracking what Alonso is doing.
He can't read.
All.
Yeah, he didn't have to go to school.
And Homer Simpson was in the Stonecutters, and they kept like giving him all of like
no homers.
They kept giving him all this like positive feedback, and it's like, this is great.
For those that missed the episode last week, as per usual, we make our calls on winner, rest of podium, biggest surprise, and biggest disappointment.
And we're always happy.
We're going to race through these because they're embarrassing as shit.
We're
going to start with race winner, and I'm going to open with some positivity with you, Dig. So you had Kimi, so well done. Tay, you had Oscar. Ba-bam. Ev, you had George, and I had Lando. So both wrong there. Rest of the podium, Diggs, you had Lando and George. Ba-bam. I had George and Oscar, also buzzer noise. Tay, you had Max and Lando. You had Max at P2, not P3, so it doesn't count. And Ev, you put some credibility back into the idiots by going Kimi and Max, so you at least got P3 there. In terms of biggest surprise, Diggs and I both had Gasly in 7th and 5th, respectively. Unfortunately, that doesn't count. Tay, you had Bortoletto in 8th. I actually don't even know where Bortoletto finished.
No, neither.
That's how
Was he like last?
At least he finished.
No, he was above Lance. He was
above Lance.
Bottas was behind Lance. He was the only driver behind Lance. Ev, you threw just out a fucking blanket statement by suggesting that Alpine would be the surprise of the weekend, which given they did double point, you could acknowledge, but I'm not going to. It doesn't count.
Bortoletto was 13th, by the way. Not
13th.
bad.
Oh, it's not terrible. And lastly, the biggest disappointment, which is actually all of us. We suck. That said, a participation medal for both you, Diggs, and Tay. Diggs, you said Oscar wouldn't get a podium, and Tay, you said George wouldn't make the top 5. I, however, said that Lewis would finish 10th. So yeah, idiots.
You know who's the biggest?
Idiots everywhere.
The biggest disappointment, though,
is us, man.
Is Lance.
Us.
No, who's he disappointing? He did
Just
exactly what we
He's
thought
just
he'd
meeting
do.
expectations.
It's exactly what I said he would do.
No, Ev, there is no way that his father could be genuinely disappointed. There's no way, because why would his father keep him there? I can't comprehend it. I don't get it. But speaking of idiots, it's time for what was originally the segment that echoed how big idiots we actually are. The original idiot identifying session. It's time for Haas, you've been paying attention. So for the newcomers, this is our weekly quiz. 8 questions, 4 on F1 history at the Canadian Grand Prix, 4 on Montreal, Canada, and whatever culturally specific facts I could find that felt unfair enough to be entertaining. So how it works, questions 1 to 6, buzz in, first in. If you're right, you get the point. If you're wrong, the other 2 get a crack. Questions 7 and 8, however, are the danger zone. Buzz in and wrong, you lose 2 points, but you gain 2 if you get it right. So the fortune favours the brave. Now the scoreboard coming into tonight, Ev still out in front. He picked up another point last week. He's on 6. Diggs, Tay, you 2 are equal on 2. So Ev is 4 clear of you after winning again last week and appears to be under the impression this competition is already over.
I'm Kimi Antonelli.
To make
I can't tell you how hard it is coming last, being the best at this game.
God.
Right. Ev,
Get off his dick.
you're defending the lead, so I need your buzzer first, please. Let's go.
My buzzer is the sound I imagine Kimi Antonelli made as he drove past George's broken down car, which is.
That's that man.
How are you going to do that
Wallace
as a
Shawn.
buzzer?
Well,
You
it's
have to do
Wallace
that whole
Shawn.
thing.
Yeah.
If anybody's
He's
older,
gonna forget it.
Yeah, he will forget
Princess Bride or Star Trek Deep Space
Yeah.
Nine.
Yeah, very good. I don't know what it's got to do with Canada, but I like it. Tay, you are up next. Give me your buzzer, please.
I was struggling so much to be inspired.
Tell us
and the
something we
thing
didn't
that-
expect.
Yeah,
Okay.
This every week.
No, I don't. I don't do it every week, but it's
No, we
going to
do
be.
the quiz every week.
Yeah, I
He
know.
does,
I
he
know.
does something and then it's not always related, but we're expecting it to be somehow related.
Yeah. You eat shit for breakfast in a light of.
Should have been Gavin. Should have. I think it's good. I'll give you that. I like that. I like that. Diggs.
Mine's also Kimi Antonelli inspired, but it's the sound he makes on the radio to his team when he can't pass George, which was wah.
Okay. Poor Antonelli. He's just like the youngest
just
ever
copping it.
potential world champ.
Oh,
Right, here we
please.
go.
They give him everything he needs, but poor
Let's
him
go.
because I said wah.
Question number
Fucking
1. This
hell.
past weekend was the first sprint format weekend in the history of the Canadian Grand Prix. The sprint format itself was introduced in 2021. 2 parts for the point. At which Grand Prix was the very first sprint race
Wow.
held and who won it? Diggs.
Silverstone,
Yes. Well done.
and it was won by
Were you-
Max.
Was it
Shit,
because
yeah,
you
That's
were
epic.
there? Were you at that one?
No, I wasn't. I just remember we spoke about it,
Yep.
and we thought it was a really odd choice for the first
Yeah.
sprint.
Sprint,
And it was
yeah,
just,
yeah,
I just
yeah.
I just
Well
remember
remembered.
the camera. I've just got this weird visual of the opening. It's probably mixing in when Max and Lewis hit each other, but there was really
Tapped each
cool
other.
camera angles. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just remember it.
Well
Just remember
remembered.
That was the one.
Yeah. Well, yep. So that's right. Max won the sprint, but Lewis won the race. Question number 2. The 2008...
Was that the race where he knocked him off the track at the start?
No, that was 22. I think that was 2022 when he tapped him. Love tapped him. The 2008 Canadian Grand Prix is one of the stranger races the circuit has produced. The championship contender on pole, which was Lewis Hamilton, retired on lap 19 after crashing into the back of a reigning world champ in the pit lane during a safety car period. Hamilton received a drive-through penalty and never recovered. The driver who benefited and went on to win that race became the first and only driver of his nationality to ever win an F1 Grand Prix. Who won and what nationality? You're all going to kick yourself when I tell you who it was. Anyone want to take a stab?
That's different.
What do you got, Em?
Nelson Piquet Jr.
I mean, is that his generation? 2008? You're wrong.
Well, it sounds like you're
incorrect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's incorrect. You guys got one? You want to take a quick stab?
I mean, I could
What-
guess the
what
nation,
year
but
was
I
it?
don't know who the driver would be.
2008.
2008.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
First of their
Nah.
nation.
Nah.
Yeah.
It was
some South African.
Robert Kubica.
I was
And
Quebec.
he was Polish. He's the one that had that really
Robert
nasty
Kubica.
car accident, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he remains to this day the only Polish driver to win an F1 Grand Prix. Question number 3. Gilles Villeneuve, the man whose name is above the entrance, never won the F1 World Championship. He came closest in 1979. finishing-
Jacques Villeneuve.
No, wrong.
Fuck.
Wrong. Interesting.
Pronounced
Do you-
Jacques.
Would you like me to finish the question, you two?
No.
Sure. Yeah.
He came closest in 1979, finishing runner-up to his own Ferrari teammate, who clinched the title at Monza, which was the final race of the season, with Villeneuve following him home. Villeneuve stayed behind his teammate that day when he could have fought him. Name the teammate who won the 79 championship. I mean, neither of you are going to know this. Should I just go to the answer?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So it was Jody Scheckter.
Yeah. Would
And the
never have
reason-
guessed.
The reason why Villeneuve didn't pass him is Villeneuve and Scheckter had an agreement. Whoever was ahead in the standings going into the final race would have the team's support. Scheckter was ahead. Villeneuve followed him to the flag. It cost him the championship, but he never mentioned it as a regret. There you go, bit of history for you. It's 1-0 to Digby. Question 4. The Canadian Grand Prix has been held at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal since 78. The very first Canadian Grand Prix, held in 67, took place at a different circuit entirely. Name that circuit.
God, we spoke about this recently. This is shocking. None of us know.
No. So they did talk about it. There was chat about it. All right. Are we all skipping this one? Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It was Mosport Park in Ontario. Ontario. So Jack Brabham won that race. The circuit is still active today as a motorsport and events venue. But yeah, there you go. Right, boys, we are out of the F1 zone.
Yes, now we're coming into
trivia.
Hey,
yeah, here we go. Now, good luck. Question 5. Basketball is one of the most popular sports on the planet. It was invented by a Canadian. Name him.
God, I don't know his name.
John Basketball.
Nah, Tay?
Nah, I've never.
These are hard. In hindsight, these are hard.
Yeah.
Stephen Johnson.
No,
James
Sprawling.
Naismith. James Naismith. Yeah,
James
I should have put in
Naismith.
multiple choice.
Yeah.
He invented basketball in 1891, where he was working as a physical education instructor at the YMCA. He nailed a peach basket to an elevated track, handed his students a ball, and told them to get it in.
So they used to have to use a ladder to go up and get the ball out because it was an actual basket.
There was no basket. There was no hole in it. Right, question number 6, gents. Tim Hortons. Who's heard of Tim Hortons?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know Tim
Fuck.
Horan.
Okay, Canada's most iconic coffee and donut chain. It was named after a real person.
Yeah.
Tim Horton was a professional
name's Tim
athlete
Horton.
who died in 74 while still
Ice hockey.
Well done, Ev. Well done. What sport did he play? I was going to say basketball, lacrosse,
the
ice
fuck
hockey,
did
or
you know
Olympic
that, Ev?
curling. Well, because it's Canada.
I think it's in one of the Wayne's Worlds where they reference.
There we
Tim
go. Just
Stan Mikita's
your
Donuts. They
knowledge.
don't reference him at all.
Well, he
But
made the
they had,
connection.
Al Bundy was in it. Remember, Al Bundy was the guy behind.
I do.
and he was- yeah.
I do. I never,
And that's when you
never
grab
done
a guy by
It's
his
1-1.
throat. and blood
Boys,
in
it's
his-
1-1. Tay, you have been awfully quiet on the scoreboard. We are into the danger zone. Question number 7. After English and French, what is the third most spoken language?
You eat shit for breakfast.
Oh, you didn't even let me get the multiple choice. I think that was Ev.
I think it was Ev too. Spanish.
Just.
Spanish is incorrect. It was an option on the multiple choice.
Minus
not-
2.
Oh, yeah, -2. Ev.
What?
Oh, you went. I
I'm
just
looking
realised
this
you
up.
went early and you didn't even let me do the multiple choice on a danger zone.
I would have picked Spanish anyway.
Well, now Tay has
Boys,
to go for
A,
it.
Mandarin, B,
Hey, I should get second go.
Fuck off. He guessed.
but
You
I'd
don't
already
get to
said.
hear the...
You know what? Okay.
I was like, he
Alright.
doesn't get to hear the multiple choice.
Was
he
he,
also
was he
buzzed.
next in, was he? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Alright, Tay, have you got an
Mandarin.
answer? Well, you're also wrong. So you are -2. Ev is -1. Diggs is on 1. So Tay...
I will pass.
No, wait. Ev can still draw if Ev gets the next one. So the answer, boys, was
What was the
Punjabi.
answer?
Punjabi.
Punjabi.
Of course.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So according to the census, approximately 750,000 people speak Punjabi as their mother tongue in Canada, making it the third most spoken language after English and French.
Dad,
The
that's
last
awful.
question.
Why would I thought you meant global. That's why
So
I was
did
like,
I.
think Spanish is
I
up
thought you
there.
meant globally too.
Yeah.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And
Like,
so
what would be the-
Spanish was your answer.
Yeah, after French.
Wait, you guys think I asked the question
You
about
think
what's the
French
third most spoken
is one of the
language
most
in the
spoken
world?
language in the world?
Yeah.
French is, yeah.
No,
Cause,
it's
yeah,
not.
because lots of all of Central Africa speak French.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a...
Let's
Yeah.
not fact check it. All right, I'm moving to the next
Let's
question.
not
This is it's about as idiotic as it gets. Question number 8. Boys, are we listening?
It doesn't even make the top 3,
Yeah, yeah.
you idiot.
Yeah.
English, Mandarin,
Ev-
and Hindi.
Ev,
not Punjabi?
you can still tie this. Right? Question number 8. Tay, you can't unless both Ev and Diggs answer and get it wrong.
Yeah.
Question number 8.
No, he
Canada
can,
is the...
he can win if I get it wrong. Ev doesn't have to get it wrong.
Oh, yeah, true. True. If you get it wrong, you go to -1.
All right,
Ev doesn't attempt, he stays on -1 and Tay can go to 0.
first, Tay. Let Digby go first.
Canada is the second largest country in the world by total area, but there is one geographic measurement where Canada is not second, it is first.
Wow.
What is it and roughly how...
Coastline.
Fuck, you've... Oh, well done. Jeez, you
I
went
missed
for
all
it.
that. I missed all that. What did you
Yeah,
say? It cut
I
out
knew.
for me. No,
I
it
already
cut
knew
out
that.
for me.
It's got
It didn't cut out
so
for
it's got the
Diggs.
largest coastline in the world by mile.
It does.
Coastline.
Yeah, it's the world's longest
Gotcha.
coastline, 202,000
And I only know that because
kilometers.
we've done that in trivia before, and no one guesses Canada, but it's got so many little islands at
That's
the top
right.
that it
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
ginormous
That's
coastline.
right. It's roughly 15% of the total coastline of the Earth, mind you. For
Jesus.
comparison, the US, the second longest, comes in around 133,000. So it's quite a big gap.
What's Australia?
I have no idea. You're asking me too
Okay.
many questions.
Be up there.
Oh,
it'd be
there you
up
go.
there.
Digby. He's done it
Good
again.
job.
He's the winner. He's gone up to 3 points. It's Ev 6, Digby 3, Tay 2. At least somebody's making grounds on Ev.
Ev's on
cannot let.
6.
I know.
Jesus.
Yeah, got a bit of chipping away.
Ugh.
But that you've been paying attention. Let's go off track for the final segment of tonight. It is time for What's Verstappen. So I've got a couple of stories here from the week. Headlines that have grabbed my attention over the course of the last few days. Boys, as per usual, it is 30 seconds for each of you to respond. Topic number 1, Lando's Indy 500 race debrief. So Lando Norris retired from P8 on lap 40 with a gearbox failure. His car's dead. His championship defense further dissipates. He has a decision to make. Does he go home and stare at the ceiling? Does he hit the simulator? Does he call his therapist? No, he goes to Indianapolis, straight to the Indy 500. Flew there, joins Danny Ricciardo and everyone else at a party like nothing happened. Firstly, gents, did you see the Indy 500 race? And putting that aside, if you were an F1 driver earning genuinely obscene amounts of money and you just had an absolute shocker of a weekend, how are you actually spending the recovery? What's the first 48 hours look like? Diggs, go. 30 seconds,
Oh, right.
baby.
I don't think I've ever watched an Indy 500 race in my life, nor do I plan to. So that's off the cards. I had all the money in the world. I could get anywhere I want, but we live in Australia, so I'd have to
Well, no, you would have been.
Like,
You would have also been in Canada. So this is if you
okay,
were
I'm
an
in
F1
Canada.
driver. Yeah,
I'd probably go to Vegas. I'm probably go to Vegas, or I'd go to the
All
next
on
game.
black. Next
go to the
game,
next
baby.
game.
Let's go.
That would be pretty cool because I love the idea of the Knicks doing well just because it's at MSG.
I love it. I love that you've squeezed
So
that
that'd
in.
be. I reckon that'd be a really cool experience.
Okay.
No,
I love that. I'm all for
genuinely
that. You're like
enjoying it.
Timothy Chalamet, just better looking
that-
and more muscly.
Is that because you're the
Better
best
actor, too.
driver? Is that because you're the best driver?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
Um,
I'd be sitting on the spot like Digby. What did you think of the game? Man, I can't tell you how hard it is sitting on the sideline, being one of the best basketball players in the world, and having to watch Cleveland play the way they played.
Let's go. All right, Tay, you're up, big guy.
No,
Yeah.
never watched Indy.
Even as an American, in America.
Even as an American, I've got mates who are into it, and I can see the appeal. But no, I've always been. I guess there's two sides, right? You're either into F1 or you're into Indy. I think I'd have to be on a boat in the water, away from everything.
away from everyone. All right, there you go. Tay's going sailing. Diggs is going
No,
to
I
the
didn't say
Knicks.
sailing. Didn't say sailing.
Okay, whatever. On a boat.
Yeah, let's make that clear. I don't want to do
Boats
the
and all.
work.
Ev, what do you got for me? Did you watch it? And where are you going?
I didn't watch it. Where I would go is
Glad I asked the question.
I'd go to I'd own some enormous ranch,
Oh, I love that.
and I'd just go horse riding
Oh.
out into
You just
nothing.
play Elden Ring all day. You'd be
I
a
love
horse
how you
instead.
said-
You'd be sitting in the cart.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Topic number 2, Ferrari go electric. Well, this one I've been waiting
Oh,
to get
it's
to. I
awful.
touched on it earlier. Right, so Ferrari, the most sacred name in motorsport, the team that has spent literally decades telling the world publicly, loudly, repeatedly that they would never, ever build an electric car. Well, today, with Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc standing in front of it and pulling the cloth off, Ferrari unveiled their very first fully electric road car. I think it's like $1 million Australian dollars. And
It's
it is
500,000 US.
US, 634 actually. It is polarizing, and that's putting it mildly.
It is
Gents,
awful.
Give me your raw reactions to this car. Love it, hate it, and why? Diggs.
That's my response.
That's
fucking
the
shit.
father's
It's
disapproving
so
sigh.
shit.
It is shit. Tay.
Um,
Digby's got nothing
Someone,
else.
yeah. So it's designed by the guy who
Johnny
designed Johnny Ive, but also
That was just the interior, though, wasn't it?
it's him. Hang on, it's him and another design firm called Loveform, and they've never designed a car in their life.
Brilliant. You can tell.
I
And-
think that is
and-
his design firm.
Sorry.
I
That's
think
his
that is
design.
his design firm.
Oh, is that his design firm?
It's him and another very famous designer.
And then
Andy
it's
Warhol.
and then it's the chief design guy at Ferrari. the main designer at Ferrari. I
So
hate
after that
it.
history
I
lesson,
just don't
you hate
understand
it.
anything about it. I don't know what their principles are about. It looks nothing like any Ferrari that's ever come. There's not
Why is
even
it
any
fucking
design
blue?
cues.
It's not even red. It's not even red.
There's not
Like,
even
is it
any
blue because it's
styling.
electric?
Any styling about it whatsoever represents
Do
anything
you know what's
to do
kind
with
of
Ferrari.
fucking wild about it, Tay? Is it's more expensive than the average Ferrari, which is about $350,000. Yet it looks more plastic and cheap. It literally could have been built by fucking Haval or GWM or I don't want to say BYD. But
I don't know why I saw this, but I saw a video recently about.
This is your take, by the way.
Yeah, okay. So with Ferrari, if you want to buy this Luce, you need to own like 3 Ferraris before you're allowed to buy to even
Get
begin.
considered.
Yeah.
Get on the wait list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that takes a long time. It takes like.
But it's because
years
most Ferrari buyers are collectors, right? Like they.
Yeah, but Lamborghini are the opposite. If you want the biggest V12 Lamborghini, you can just walk into the shop and order one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And it's really bizarre how companies are doing this in an age where we get everything that we want online.
I think, but that's Ferrari trying to leverage their scarcity principle, right? They're trying to say this is so exclusive.
But who's going to spend $500,000 on a 4-seat
There will
electric?
People will be spending it.
Of course they will, but it's
a status symbol.
But then what's the point?
Yeah, I don't know how this benefits.
You wouldn't.
I genuinely don't know how this benefits the Ferrari brand.
No, I don't think. I don't think we're really in the market, so we don't really have an opinion on this. Because we're not buying Ferraris.
Well, actually, to be fair though, Diggs, there are 400 million Ferrari fans in the world, right, of the F1 team by nature. Majority of them, 99.9% of them, could never afford a Ferrari, and that's the appeal of Ferrari. That's why Ferrari.
A lot of them couldn't afford the T-shirt either.
No,
to be honest, like the
T-shirts. Fucking what is it? $120 for a hat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I just wanted your guys' raw reactions to it. It's new news today. It looks fucking awful.
Awful.
Yeah,
like you said, it looks like the Nissan. It looks worse than the Nissan.
It literally looks like a fucking. I said you could put a BYD badge on it. The bit that gets me is that they used Hamilton and Leclerc, so the two most famous Ferrari drivers on the planet right now.
They should have used their parents.
Right, topic number 3. FIA, the multi-team ownership problem.
He sees the car and he tries to turn around.
This one is less fun. It's more controversial, so stick with me. FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem has confirmed that the governing body is officially looking into multi-team ownership in F1. For those that may not be aware, I'm sure you are, but just for context, Red Bull owns Red Bull Racing and the Racing Bulls, and more recently, Mercedes is making noise about purchasing Alpine. The brewing question from the FIA is whether one owner be allowed to run 2 teams in the same championship. Question for you guys, agree or disagree with multi-team ownership and why?
I don't like that. I don't like the idea of having an influence on another team, or every team should be independent. You should only be against it. Like, I don't like the idea of 2 Red Bull teams.
Who's for this?
I don't like the idea of multi-engine teams.
Toto, who could get filthy rich by, again, this only benefits those that buy the teams because the teams obviously are worth significant and an increase in valuation.
It's an investment, yeah.
Well, yeah, at a significant cash flow impact initially, right? You're dumping loads of cash.
Oh, yeah.
Tay, you for or against?
I agree with Digby. Yeah, no, not indifferent. I think it'd be a bad idea. I think we saw glimpses of Racing Bulls and Red Bull
Ferraris.
back a few seasons ago where it felt like they were using each other to benefit.
Yeah, and it's a good point. Yep.
Yeah. So I think it would be, if that became more like with Toto and Alpine and all that sort of stuff, I think that could be real bad.
Well, yeah, I mean, you increase the amount of teams on the grid to only lessen them by having political control of feeder teams. Ev, I know you're probably going to defend this by this suggestion. I'm not taking the words out of your mouth, but I want to try and offer up a thought in a second that Racing Bulls and Red Bull are very separated. However, I will just remind you that when Christian Horner was binned, it took him all but 2 seconds to bring in the CEO of Racing Bulls to become the CEO of Red Bull. So they're not that separate. But Ev,
it's a farm team.
The actual, I'm going to change the question for you. What I want to know is why doesn't Lamborghini have a team? Why hasn't Lamborghini got a F1 team?
Yeah, I really don't know. They tried in GT3 and LMP1. I think they tried an LMP1 car. But yeah, they've never been a big competitive racing.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know why. I presume that they're too afraid.
What about tractor racing? Are they involved in tractor racing?
I was waiting for someone to bring up the tractor.
It's great. Well, I mean, they were originally a tractor company.
Yeah, they still are.
Yes. Yeah. Jeremy Clarkson's The Farm. I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
There you go. Plug for the bloke that doesn't need a plug. All right. Topic number 4. It's the last official one, but I have one which I just want to throw out in a second. Max Verstappen, Daytona 2027. So Max, all-time world champ, current Red Bull driver, man who continues to echo his dissatisfaction for F1 and his love for other forms of racing, has confirmed he's eyeing up the Daytona 24 hours next year. This follows him doing the Nürburgring 2 weekends ago. The question isn't whether Max will do it. I suspect he clearly will. The question is, what other events do you want to see him in? What race, anywhere in the world, any format would you love to watch Max Verstappen compete
Destruction Derby.
I used to love that.
Well, like one of those like dirt raceways, like where they've got the speed cars or whatever, just something really random.
Speedway.
Yeah.
Top dragsters, top fuelers.
Yeah, top fuelers. Jesus. Yeah, I can see that.
What were those cars called?
Yeah. Parramatta Raceway. Be there. Or Parramatta Speedway or whatever it's called.
Yeah. We got it.
Right, Raceway. Tay, what have you got?
It would be cool if he just was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go to every race medium and give it my all in every single one.
I'm sorry. All I think of is Sonny Hayes. Like, why wouldn't he go and be Sonny Hayes?
Like, I'd love to see
movie?
him in Dakar, like just doing that stint down California.
But on a motorbike. On a motorbike.
Yeah, he does.
Not on a car. Go on the motorbike.
Actually, I've got the best one. I've got the best one. I just thought of it because of Red Bull, and it just popped up in my feed this week. Is that Billy
wingsuit gliding
race thing they do in the Red Bull? And they go, that would be amazing.
Or the one where they go off into the water and they see how far they can fly.
Yeah. That's great too. That's great.
Yeah, glide.
Speaking of the wingsuits, this YouTube video came up the other day, and I was watching it, and this guy jumps off the cliff in a wingsuit with his wife, and he's flying, and they've got the radio of each other coming through the audio. And you just hear this, and he turns around and she's gone straight into the fucking wall and she's lying in a forest. Like, Anyways, I think she's fine, but it's like this all on. Anyways, that's a fun segue. Ev, what have you got for me? Where would you love to see Max Verstappen racing?
Where would I want to see him racing? I think, GT3 is a really good.
Ev's going to say F2.
Yeah, I don't know.
Formula E.
Academy.
Could you imagine?
I want to see him in like the Red Bull, the plane racing, maybe that, or
cool.
I don't
He'd
know.
be a Blue Angel.
Yeah, I think I like things like Le Mans. Like, I'd love to see him do Indy 500. Just go there, win it. Go, fuck you all. I'm the best driver in the world.
Chuck the keys. Go park it.
Park my car for me, will you?
Yeah. Chucks the keys to the second driver, whatever it is.
Yeah. Hey, last topic, boys. I'm not actually going to throw to you for comment other than do you think this is cool or not. But the last topic is the Hamilton brothers. So whilst Lewis was on the podium in Montreal, something else happened back in the UK that I actually think has been missed in the noise. So his younger brother, Nick, so Nicholas Hamilton, he was racing in the British Tour Car Championship at Snetterton. Never heard of that word. Snetterton, yeah. He won the Jack Sears Trophy, his first ever career silverware. Nick, who races with cerebral palsy, I'm not sure if you guys are aware.
Well, he doesn't race with it.
Well, he doesn't
He
opt
has
in to
it.
have it. He has it.
Well,
but
that's
he's
racing
got cerebral.
with it.
Yeah, like I'm not saying he's opted to have that to race. It's not like a handy, right? He was in tears on the podium. He was in tears on the podium.
I knew where this was going.
Lewis called him immediately after the Canadian race and said it was major. Said he couldn't be more proud. Same day, two brothers, two different podiums, two completely different worlds of motorsports. Lewis said calling Nick was the first thing he did after getting out of the car.
Of course he said that.
I thought he thanked the factory. But look,
He also had
how
to do
good,
the press conference.
Honestly, is that not cool though? That's a wonderful.
It is. It's
Yeah, it's
really
pretty
cool. It is. It's lovely.
Yeah.
You have.
With all that said and done,
That is the best TikTok we've ever done, by the way.
that is the Canada Grand
The way
Prix
you
wrap.
stop.
It's in the bin. It's archived. Episode 10 of season 4. Some race to review. But before we go, just the quick housekeeping rules. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe, leave us a review, tell a friend. The algorithm doesn't care about us unless you do. So please do something about it. Next week, we are back. And we're getting ready to go to Monaco, the first race of the European leg, the most glamorous, the most ridiculous, the most impossible to overtake circuit on the calendar, and somehow the most watchable thing in the sport. We're going to preview everything, the grid, the storylines, the people on yachts who definitely can't see the race from where they're sitting. Boys, any lasting comments before we sign off?
Oh, I don't know why I get excited for Monaco. I think it's the most exciting
and then always
quality of the
disappointed.
year, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a better time zone for us. I will tell you that much.
Yeah.
It ain't
Not for
fucking
me.
3 o'clock in the morning. Probably not for you, Tay. That said, you jump onto this podcast at 3 in the morning. So what's another couple of hours?
It always depresses me seeing that light come out for some reason.
I know. You just watch yeah.
At the start of
It's
the
so
episode,
fucking
it's
low.
just pitch black, and now I
Yeah.
can see the trees at the
Yeah.
back. Oh, I'm so
No.
sorry.
All right, boys.
You're
Well,
so sorry.
with that, there you have it. We'll see you next week. Until then, stay idiotic and go the Knicks. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.